8:49 exactly, and I've been listening to Maher Zain singing that Nasheed Palestine will be free with a lump in my throat. I'm so shocked, absolutely shocked out of my mind. As a broadcast journalist, I sit in the security of a well secured studio, sharing our stories here, bringing you news, breaking news and views on a daily basis. And then I get this shocking news that last night or during the early hours of this morning, renowned CNN Al Jazeera journalist Shireen Abu Akleh was fatally shot while on assignment in the West Bank. Obviously, it's an extremely heartbreaking day for journalists all around the world, very especially in war zones. And I say it and I say it out loud that Palestine has become a war zone. The people of Palestine are soft targets. The people of Palestine are being annihilated by the occupiers. But to share with us exactly the events leading up to the killing, the brutal killing of Al Jazeera journalist Shireen Abu Akleh is Khalid Amayreh. He's also based in the West Bank. He's also a journalist, and he's going to talk to us about the very sad news about the killing of this fellow journalist, but also just what the conditions and situation is like for them covering news and bringing the truth to the world. Salamu alaikum, Khalid Amayreh. Welcome to Salam Media. Under very sad circumstances,
Alaikum
we're
assalam.
talking with you this morning.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
A very sad day indeed, is it not? Our heart bleeds and breaks for our dear sister Shireen and for all of you out there uh, covering these atrocities in the occupied territories.
Yes, yes, indeed. I think I wouldn't. It wouldn't be an overstatement to say that she was murdered by the indifferent hands of the Israeli occupation soldiers. The Israelis, as they do always, deny that they killed her premeditatedly and intentionally, but they do not deny that. Uh, they do not deny that they killed her, and they are trying to dilute the subject by asking the Palestinian leadership in Ramallah to create an investigation committee, a joint investigation committee with Israel. So their ultimate aim is to dilute the subject and to make this crime go into oblivion.
Now, the Israeli military has responded. This is what they are saying, that they had they had come under attack with heavy gunfire and explosives while operating in Jenin, and that they fired back in retaliation. But they go on to say that they are investigating the event. But of course, we know that that is not true. We know that that is not the facts because we know of the atrocities that these occupiers have been perpetrating in Palestine for, gosh, years and years and years.
These people are professional liars. They fornicate with truth. They fornicate with language. They claim they came under attack. Who was attacking whom? Those soldiers are, they are in occupied territory. They They were carrying brutal attacks against innocent civilians. The Jenin is a refugee camp. The Jenin camp is a refugee camp. This is totally a misrepresentation of truth. But the Israelis, always misrepresent the truth. This is their modus operandi. Lying and misrepresenting the truth and doing all these things, is something that the Israelis are very professional at. Shireen Abu Akleh and all Al Jazeera journalists are very conspicuous. They always don helmets on their heads, and the marks as journalists are very conspicuous. So it's either the Israelis are bad marksmen and snipers, and they do not see, they do not view the targets they are shooting, or they are lying. In fact, they are lying, and they do so shamelessly, as they always do. Their attacks on the Palestinian camp take place virtually every night. Every night they go there and attack, and they kill people. They mostly kill innocent people. And then they justify the killing by claiming that they came under attack. And you see,
Ha-
so you know, this is their modus operandi. This is their way of doing things. They
Khalid, this obviously is a shock to journalists who've been working closely with Shireen Abu Akleh. Uh, her,
it's
her, co-
more than a shock. It's more than a shock.
okay, Nida Ibrahim from Al Jazeera has gone on to release a statement saying that Shireen was declared dead at the hospital. The circumstances of her death was not clear, but videos of the incident show that Shireen Abu Akleh was shot in the head. She goes on to say, what we know for now is that the Palestinian Health Ministry has announced her death. Shireen Abu Akleh was covering the events unfolding in Jenin, specifically an Israeli raid in the city, which is north of the occupied West Bank, when she was hit by a bullet to the head. Nida Ibrahim goes on to say that we are in total shock. This is absolutely outrageous.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This was a classic example of killing the messenger. Of killing the messenger. As I said, Israel is trying to intimidate Palestinians and other journalists who cover the occupation in the West Bank. They want to tell people that if you cover Israeli crimes that are perpetrated every hour, every moment, then something might happen to them. And the Israelis acted on this terroristic intentions last night, a few hours ago, actually. Um, Shireen Abu Akleh was a professional journalist from Jerusalem. and she actually had a long record of professionality, and she wouldn't do anything that would really endanger her life as a professional journalist. But the Israelis do not respect all these things. They think that might is right. And Shireen Abu Akleh was not the first Palestinian journalist to be murdered by Israelis, and most likely she wouldn't be the last. So, really, I think the international community accepts journalist associations around the world, including South Africa, should
Mm.
really condemn this crime in a very strong language. As I said, it was a classical case of killing the messenger, and this is all of us reporters.
Absolutely. Mm.
We only report things that's happening. That's all. We do not take sides, but we have to remind ourselves and remind the world that the truth is on the side of the people who are languishing under occupation, namely the Palestinians. So
Khalid, Khalid,
basically,
how closely did you work with Shireen? And what more can you tell us about this amazing journalist?
she was my colleague. We worked together for many years, and she is a professional journalist. As I said, she started. She's 51 years old, and she started her career back in 1990 as a as a broadcaster at the Palestinian radio station in Jericho, and then she joined Al Jazeera as a professional reporter, and really she was one of the best journalists, and I think the Arab world, the Arabic speaking world, are indebted to her for communicating the truth, however painful and however brutal and ugly the truth may be, but nonetheless, she was communicating the truth about the Nazi-like Israeli occupation in Palestine. And had it not been for her and her colleagues, I think the people, the viewers of Al Jazeera, which is watched around the world and in the Arab world, uh, the main satellite TV in the Arab world, and news TV, that is. I think had it not been for her, what we know now about the manner in which Israel treats the Palestinians, the savagery, the brutality, would have been impossible.
So, what is the word on the ground, Khalid? I should imagine the entire Arab world is buzzing with this shocking, horrendous news. Do you feel that perhaps this was a deliberate assassination on her life, or was it just a stray bullet that, she was in the line of fire? She was at the wrong place, she was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I have absolutely no doubt that the the murder of Shireen Abu Akleh was deliberate. I am not saying this as a furious person at what happened. I'm saying that in light of my experience myself, I am a professional journalist, and I was told repeatedly by the Israelis that if I did not, uh, if I play down, if I didn't, behave, quote unquote, then something would happen to me. That was a tacit warning, a euphemistic language warning me that I would be killed, I would be shot and killed if I did not stop exposing Israeli crimes against the Palestinian people.
Khalid, undoubtedly the Palestinian Authority and also Al Jazeera, uh, where Shireen worked and covered news for, will be investigating her death. Whatever the findings are, at least the Palestinian people will know that she was murdered. But do you think that anything else would come of it as far as the occupiers are concerned? Or will they just, for them, it's just another life that doesn't matter to them any longer, just another voice that they needed to silence? Um, the results or the outcomes of the investigation, which I'm sure will happen, is not going to impact on the occupiers at all, will it?
Yes, I am afraid the case will be like that. The Israelis are actually, they don't give a damn about the international reactions, about the PA, about a statement here and a statement there. They are so arrogant, so much that just they wouldn't care, and that's why I think uh, we must insist on an international investigation, an international commission of inquiry into this crime, because the Israelis are not entrusted. They are not trusted to tell the truth, and they would just seize uh, any opportunity to distort and to obliterate the truth about what happened last night. And this is why the Palestinian Authority has rejected totally the Israeli offer for a joint inquiry, a joint investigation into the martyrdom of this journalist. I do not really, uh, I do not give the Israelis the benefit of the doubt. Those people proved ad nauseum. They proved repeatedly that they are not interested in finding the truth. All they are interested in is to just exonerate themselves, although they know deep in their heart, and the world knows that they are the perpetrators, they are the criminals, they are the murderers, and this crime would not stop the Israelis and prevent them from repeating the crime again and again and again. Uh, in the final analysis, the Palestinian people are unprotected. almost totally unprotected, and their very survival depends on the goodwill of the international community.
Mm, mm,
So I think it depends on the world. The very lives of not only journalists like myself and Shireen, but even kids and women and innocent civilians. So those people really entrust their lives to the world public opinion. And I think the world would have to make a decision. We saw how the world mobilized, to help the Ukrainians. And what about the Palestinians? Are they children of a lesser God?
mm. Absolutely. Have you met with her family, and if so, how are they holding up?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Yes, I'm wondering if you've had time to meet with her family under these very sad circumstances, and how are they holding up?
I didn't hear it very
Okay.
well.
All right.
Uh,
All right, Khalid. Now I'm just wondering, how is her family doing? Have you met with them since she's been killed?
since Shireen was killed,
Have you met her family? Have you managed to go and meet with her family?
no, 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 not yet, because it was only a few hours ago. Her family is in East Jerusalem. East Jerusalem is off limit to us, to Palestinians from other parts of the West Bank, like in Hebron. I'm from Hebron, and it is very difficult for somebody from outside Jerusalem to get to Jerusalem unless he or she obtains a special permit from the Israeli army.
So, further insult to injury as far as the Palestinian people are concerned. Please, when you do manage to send word through to her family, do pass on our deepest condolences to them from everyone here at Salam Media. And you do know that we are all about humanitarian journalism. So our heart bleeds for the loss of Shireen Abu Akleh. But before I let you go, I want to read you a few messages that have been coming in. Uh, Someone has written in to say, and that is you, Hussam Zomlot. Those who knew Shireen described her as a brave, kind, and a voice of the Palestinian. Shireen was a brave, kind, and high integrity journalist that I and millions of Palestinians grew up watching. This is what Fadi Quran has written. He's an activist at the campaign group Avaz. Then Huwaida Araf, a Palestinian American activist and lawyer, has sent this message through. Horrified to hear of Israel's killing of Al Jazeera journalist Shireen Abu Akleh in Jenin. Shireen has boldly covered Israel's aggression in Palestine for over 2 decades. A message from another journalist, and that is a Mr. Trendle. He says that as journalists, we carry on. Our mission is to carry on. We will not be silenced despite attempts to silence us, says Mr. Trendle. Our mission is always to carry on, to inform the world what is happening, and that is more important than ever. And finally, another message, and this reads: in disbelief, Israeli apartheid forces killed Al Jazeera journalist Shireen Abu Akleh this morning while covering their invasion of Jenin. We grew up to her reporting on the Second Intifada. She was our voice. Rest in power and peace. Another day, another tragedy. And those are the very, very heartbreaking and heartwarming messages that is coming through in support of the killing of Shireen Abu Akleh and in support of the Palestinian people. Final words to you, Khalid Amayreh.
Thank you very much, and we will carry. We will carry on. We will carry on.
Allah be with you and with all of the Palestinian people every step of the way. And we know that the Palestinian cause is not only an issue about religion. We know that Christian Palestinians are as besieged as Muslim Palestinians are. So our thoughts, our prayers, and ongoing du'as and support to the people of Palestine. Shukran for being with us under very sad circumstances. May Allah protect one and all. Assalamu alaikum to you from everyone here at Salam Media in South Africa.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
9:15 exactly, news and views on Salam Media, and that indeed was a very, very heartbreaking story. I have actually seen quite a number of news pieces by Shireen Abu Akleh on Al Jazeera. She was an amazing journalist. She's not only a loss to her family, not only to the people of Palestine, but to the people of the world. Stay with us. We'll be back with you in a minute or two.
Around. I miss the time you were around. But I'm so grateful for every moment I spent with you. 'Cause I know life won't last forever. You went so soon, so soon. You left so soon, so soon.